All right, welcome back to the channel. Oh man, gotta love this boxing. Always something good to talk about. Today we're going to talk about Deontay Wilder clearly living in the head of Tyson Fury, and the fact that Tyson Fury again is trying to push to either fight somebody other than Deontay Wilder or move the fight up to some point where it's just not financially viable. But in the midst of all these conversations, dude, Tyson Fury is one of the biggest prima donnas on the planet. Let's talk about this logic that Tyson Fury deserves some type of special treatment because of the things that he's overcome in his life. Ridiculous. But we're going to have fun with it and talk about that in this video. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Would love to say that Tyson Fury is one of my favorite subjects, but he's not. Completely annoys me. I used to be a fan of his, similar to other fighters I've been a fan with, but sometimes, people just do things, they let you down, and hey, man, you move on with your life. Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder. A little bit of background before we get into the meat of this. Tyson Fury has let me down on multiple occasions during his career. The first time that he did it, because Tyson Fury in the heavyweight division has done something that nobody else that's currently active has done. Well, two things. One is he has won every major championship belt: the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO, and he has the WBC. What he also has, however, is the dubious distinction of, despite having over the course of the last 5 years or so, having won every major belt, he never has actually ever defended one. So there's a little bit of a gap in this dude's resume. Now he's got the WBC belt. He's supposed to be fighting Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder does not want to fight in 2021 for several reasons. But Tyson Fury feels like he needs to do it right now, or he's going to go try to fight somebody else, or something. Well, long and short of it, dude, is that the fight is going to take place when Deontay Wilder is ready for the fight to take place, and when there is a gate to be had. When there is a gate to be had, that means when you can have fans there and there's money to be earned from the fan tickets, from the ticket sales. Until that takes place, this fight's not happening. The rest of that conversation is just about people wanting to keep Tyson Fury's name out there or whatever. It's not about keeping Deontay Wilder's name out there, because Deontay Wilder could do that himself, but has no interest in doing it whatsoever. He's going on about the business of rehabbing his arm from his the bicep injury, and and getting ready for the fight when the fight takes place, right? But listen to what Frank Warren said. Now, the reason why the fight has to take place is that there is a rematch clause in that fight. Okay, Deontay Wilder was the champion, not Tyson Fury, despite the fact that it's really does seems like a lot of boxing fans just get to think that they can just name who the champion is, right? But Deontay Wilder was the champion. Deontay Wilder agreed to fight Tyson Fury again under certain circumstances. One was how the money was going to go. Two was where the fight was going to be. And the third one was that no matter who wins, there's going to be a rematch clause. So there's going to be a third fight. Tyson Fury knew coming into it, and when he agreed to that contract, that's what it was. You can't go fight anybody else. Otherwise, you got to give up that belt, and you're going to get sued because you agreed to it. Now, Frank Warren, this is not the first time he said it, right? But again, man, it's like Tyson Fury is some otherworldly prima donna that has rules only applying to him. Frank Warren says that the fight needs to take place with Tyson Fury because we are really worried about Tyson Fury's mental stability. And you know how he is. If he's not fighting on a consistent basis, it's not necessarily about the money. It's about him continually fighting and staying active and because of his mental state, and in his history with mental issues and drug problems, that, hey man, we need to make a special exception for Tyson Fury here, so that Tyson Fury can get the fight and get the things that Tyson Fury needs. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's Frank. That's prima donna stuff. That's just some old, you think you deserve something that nobody else is getting. Hey man, everybody is everybody. There's a bunch of people who got mental problems, dog. A bunch of people got problems with depression and stress and drug abuse and all that. It's rampant everywhere. Why does Tyson Fury deserve any type of special treatment? Because it's him. Hasn't Tyson Fury gotten enough special treatment in his career? But now they want rematch clauses to disappear because he might get upset, right? We need to preoccupy Tyson Fury's, we need to make sure that the boxing schedule and the world all revolve around Tyson Fury's schedule. Man, of course not. Of course nobody is going to try to do that, man, or think that that's right if it's coming out of their mouth. But that doesn't stop people from, if they want to side with a fighter or disrespect another fighter, from just acting like what their fighter, who they do support, is saying makes any sense whatsoever. Because in this particular instance, it does not. Now, there's, besides just Tyson Fury's his privilege, besides Tyson, the Fury privilege, right? The one where you get to keep your boxing license even though you lie about your performance enhancing drugs. You get to bribe people, not pay people that you bribe, right? You get to have 2 years suspensions for performance enhancing drugs, but have people act like you were on a vacation. Are you on some type of mental sabbatical during the time? It's just a bunch of nonsense. But at the end of the day, man, we're definitely going to get this fight again. And win or lose for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, I'm telling you, man, for Tyson Fury, it's not going to go the way that he wants it to go. There's really only one real path for Tyson Fury in stardom for Tyson Fury, and that's for him to go to the UK and fight in the UK against Anthony Joshua. Now, as much as I, definitely know that, hey, Deontay Wilder gets the rematch clause, if that WBC belt is important to Deontay Wilder, then, hey, man, Tyson Fury, you got to fight Deontay Wilder. Now, my personal thing is that I wouldn't mind at all if Deontay Wilder said, go ahead and fight Anthony Joshua. Doesn't make me a difference. Go ahead and fight Anthony Joshua. Just put Anthony Joshua's name on the contract. Put your name on the contract, and when that fight's over, whoever it is got to beat me, got to fight me. And it could say, and you could also put, hey, man, that if you specifically can say if Anthony Joshua, if he wins this fight, which I don't think he will against Tyson Fury, but he might, because Tyson Fury can get knocked out. You know what I mean? And with all of this stuff going on with Tyson Fury cheating and all of the publicity around Tyson Fury cheating, or the accusations around Tyson Fury cheating, man, Anthony Joshua's team's going to be all on top of all of that nonsense that he's doing, that he would try to do. Same thing with Deontay Wilder. And I think same thing with everybody else. I think if Tyson Fury is going to have to cheat, if he's going to find a way, let me say it this way. If he's going to try to find a way to get advantages outside of the ring, and that will affect people inside of the ring, maybe that's the better way to do it. Because I really don't believe that the gloves in the second fight, that the one where I could clearly see the gloves all the way through, I do believe that those were approved by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And I do believe that those gloves were manufactured in that capacity, right? But I still think it's cheating, because Tyson Fury and everybody around him knows that padding was not over those knuckles. And what they're doing is just riding on a technicality and saying, hey, man, technically it's not illegal. So, hey, man, I'm going to do whatever I can to get as close to the lines as I can. Right. Yeah. But with guys like that, they often go over the lines. As much as they get close to the line, they also go over the line. So but anyway, I think all of that stuff is going to be settled out with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury I think Tyson Fury would probably be smart to try to get the Anthony Joshua fight if he could get the Anthony Joshua fight. But the problem is Tyson Fury can't get the Anthony Joshua fight, because Bob Arum is not going to give Tyson Fury the Anthony, Bob Arum is not going to give Top Rank the Tyson Fury fight. He's going to try to get He's going to try to set up as many top-ranked fighter heavyweights as he can and try to shove them into mandatory positions with the WBA and the IBF to get Anthony Joshua beat, so that Tyson Fury can fight whoever the guy is that beats Anthony Joshua and that is represented by Top Rank, so he can bundle all the heavyweights up like Don King did in the 1970s and the 1980s. I mean, most of these playbooks are already out, so you know what's going to happen, man. You know, like, it's just amazing me in boxing how many people don't see the same plays getting run over and over again. But anyway, Tyson Fury is going to have to fight Deontay Wilder when Deontay Wilder tells him to fight him, and that's just what it is. Or when it's available and Deontay Wilder agrees to the date. And it has to be in a situation where he's going to get the full payday. And if Tyson Fury isn't getting his payday, dog, that's just on Tyson Fury. You could have decided not to fight Deontay Wilder in the second fight, just like you chose not to fight him in the second fight when you pulled out of the second fight for the first time. Anyway, though, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think, and with that, I'm out. Peace.